can't go under a train anymore, and the fact that some of the trains are missing. But in any case here, there's more pressing issues, Jim. We've just got word that apparently at the Finnish boot camp, somehow Juho and Sunny managed to spill coffee. So they're currently cleaning up that mess. That's why the temporary delay before going live. There's been a coffee spillage.
Well, let's be honest. I'm going to draw everyone's attention to the best feature of the map train.
Oh, not the barbecue.
Which is the barbecue and the chairs on top of SL. If I was to pick a vantage point...
Can we watch the knife round from up there?
We can, actually.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I hope they knife on the front side of the trains. It could be really awkward for us as spectators if they knife on the other side and we don't see anything.
What X-ray vision's for.
Now, because I'm not watching a stream, I'm having to try and replicate what you're doing, but I'm sitting in the left chair. Where are you sitting?
Take the right.
Alright. Well, this is great to watch. That looked epic.
It was epic, but of course now
good.
that means Ents have their choice of side in this match, and
yes.
Shortly we will go live with this round after they clean up their coffee spill. I'd understand. They just want to get the knife round out of the way. I'm sure that's probably on Periscope though.
I hope so. I mean, next best thing after the puddle watch. But we will now go live. This is the final map for both Alternate aTTaX, the German team, and Ents, the Finnish team, in their Counterpit Season 2 group stage qualifiers. And it's all to play for. Ents particularly had that opportunity to still come first, and they haven't started off the stronger as Alu has been knifed in spawn by one of his teammates. I think there's some answers and questions to be asked about what's just gone down, but we do see Alternate aTTaX here. Tizian, Kazua, Stefan, Crisby, and Kiev up against Sunny, Juho, Stonde, Zart, and Alu.
Maybe Alu spilt the coffee. That's potentially what could happen here, but look at the overlay. They're going to put some pressure here on Vines. They have sent 2 members out there, and of course, Alu does go down quite early. He took a little bit of team damage. That probably didn't help the matter, but the Glock eliminates him quite quickly.
They will now back off, though, Alternate, off the back of getting that frag. I think they're just content with the fact that they've paused that CT rotation. On the overlay, we can actually note that there's now 3 CTs committed to this A bomb side and only 1 sole member. It's actually Zart at the moment, whose eyes are locked and focused on both high ramp and low ramp. It can be quite a menacing prospect having to multitask both on your own. We do see at the moment the T's heading their way towards Zart. They're in the brown halls at the moment, and it looks as though they do have a couple of members there in the form of Kazua and Crisby who are well equipped to try and block off his vision. They've got 2 smokes and 2 flashes each, or 1 smoke each and 2 flashes each, I should say. But they're moving their way towards high ramp, as I correct myself, and as these smokes get laid down, it looks as though they will be taking control of this site. There's not much in the way of CT presence there, so the bomb plant should momentarily come in. It will be Tizian that gets it planted now. He's punching in the magic numbers, 7355608. It has been planted. The CT's now forced to retake. They've already lost 1 in the form of Zart, but Stonde does a good job of taking down the danger man in the form of Kiev, but they still have 4 terrorists to contend with, and you can see with the terrorists so well positioned here, given the fact that there wasn't much presence in the B bomb site, it's going to be quite difficult for Ents to make this work. They have found 2 frags though, so I'll hold that thought. Juho and Stonde with 1 apiece. All of a sudden, Tizian, the sole member inside the side. He has Crisby behind him on the low ramp, but he will get the job done himself onto Sunny. The smoke comes in here, but crucially, it is Stonde who's the last surviving member. He has a chin in hand, but they're whiffing with the knife. What am I watching? In the end, he does get knifed. Disaster averted. From a terrorist perspective, we actually saw, I think, Crisby knifing below the train there. Like, I'm not even sure what he was trying to achieve.
But I think my co-cast has just spilt his coffee.
I think my neighbours are awake. They're not impressed with me. It's 3 AM here in Australia. But just the sheer madness of what I was watching, where the terrorists went in for the knife, I could understand that. Just trying to get the job done, but they weren't even knifing where the bomb was. It didn't make any sense to me.
What an absolute shamozzle, if I'm going to put it.
Shamozzle, you keep making up words for the cast.
No, these are real words, but
they're not real words, Jim.
Tell you what is real. This CZ from Sunny, he could pounce and does take the first down. Does take Tizian down and just get away quite cheekily down low ramp, and finding themselves now without a man advantage at all. And we see by the overlay, they are just sitting in the white halls and not committing to anything at all. Alternate. And playing into Ents' favour at the moment. Not waiting it out. There's still a minute left on the clock, but Ents at the moment are just going to push areas and look for a little bit of information. They've got a little bit of a setup going here at Vines, of course. As we know, there's not too much of a chance of any action over there at the moment, but this bomb should make its way onto the outside site.
They're wasting a lot of time though, so I'm glad to see them finally committing, but in the end they run into the crosshair of Juho, so Team Ents here doing a good job of trying to do a lot of damage and put a lot of pressure here on Alternate aTTaX. It will be Kiev getting the drop eventually onto Juho, but you can see Sunny on the flank here. This is danger signs. He will eventually put his crosshair on Kiev, takes him down. Now the T's are aware of that backstab, so they're forced to really watch 360 degrees at the moment and try and take down this oncoming CT side, who are now forced to try and retake the side and get that defuse in. Kazua there does take down Alu, and as he gets a second, can't quite get the third there, but Crispy has found one himself, so Stonde now has no teammates to support him. He gets one. He doesn't have a kit here, though, and doesn't have much HP to play with, so he taps the bomb as he makes that Deedle frag, or Deedle shot. Kazua is now aware that it is just a fake, and I think the game is up now. Kazua doing a great job just playing the time. Whilst he does get taken down there, the bomb will explode. Stonde will recover that AK, and whilst the round will go alternate's way, very much a fantastic round there and a fantastic outcome for ence. Everything but the round win.
Yeah, everything but the round win. That's an ideal eco situation by that round win. So they did quite well. They did a lot of damage to the economy of alternate, and now, as you can see, they've actually invested quite heavily into this round as a result of losing a lot of inventory in that second round alternate. So they are just going to go into the white halls, but again, as we see from ence, they've actually forced into this round a little bit with some pistols and some armor. So this is again potentially some danger signs here as the trades come in. Sunny does fall after taking one with that AK, but Tizian has great position here. Does find one with the MAC-10 and straight to his block, looking for that second one. Of course, taking a lot of damage here, down to just 6 HP. And now Kiev is watching over his teammates, standing up as the guardian of this B site. But of course, that flash doesn't do him any justice. Yuho does take him down quite quickly. That AK is still alive here for ence. And now the inside retake, well, for a moment there, it was looking like it was a possibility. But of course, Yuho is taken down quite quickly. Alu does some damage with that Deagle, but the time is ticking on this clock, and that bomb will be will explode. No time here for Alu to really make a go of it. He will just try and collect an AK and get out of here, but another successful force buy from ence without getting the round win.
Yeah, to put it in context, alternate aTTaX here won the first 3 rounds. Kiev moving on to the first gun round has 3.6k. He cannot afford to buy an AK and armor at this point. And he's their star player who normally wants an AWP in hand. So I think that adds some context. What a fantastic job there ence did with their pistols. As we move now onto this gun round, you can see that Zart does have a P90 in hand. So he'll be trying to find a choke point, which is quite close and small, so that he can put that to full effect. The 50 bullets in the chamber will be the B bomb side. And it looks as though aTTaX are headed his way to start this round, trying to gain control of that B brown halls. And at least force that rotation from the CTs, trying to make them play 2 inside. That's the intent, at least. You can see at the moment, though, on the overlay. CT's still committing forward to that A bomb site. Zart, a lot of responsibility at the moment, resting on his shoulders to lock down that side, given the fact that there's no support coming his way. Alternate aTTaX at the moment are still looking for that early frag. They actually had 2 members there, Kiev, and I do believe it was Kazua there. Double stacked in Teton, looking for that outside frag. But haven't found it yet, Jim.
Not yet. They are trying to work for it, though, and what they're doing, more importantly, is trying to tie up some of that counter-terrorist utility and try and make them burn their smokes, their flashes, as you can see. They've still got some Molotovs on hand, but alternate at the moment are just setting themselves up for an inside hit. These smokes will go up.
That's right, Tizian there, he's lined it up perfectly. So as they now execute onto the site, Tizian decides that it's an apt time to throw a flash into his teammates, thus stalling their attack. And as the CTs also lob some in, that will further slow the progress. And an Alu here at the bottom of that high ramp does grab the first start, doing a good job actually. Long range P90, actually gets a triple, spots out the 4th. I said he needed to play close range. Well, when you're putting the crosshair on their heads, it probably doesn't matter in any effect. So Kiev now forced to back off, try and save that all. He recognises that this win and this round situation is untenable, and he's bolted completely. But the CTs, Jim, they're actually chasing him down at the moment. They're hungry to get that AWP out of his hands. They recognise the danger he could do next round.
Well, not only that, too, they recognise the fact that they've put the terrorists on under a lot of pressure with those force buys in earlier rounds. So taking the gun there was the ideal situation, because they know that, as we can see with the money, it's not going to be ideal for the terrorists. So a good opportunity for ence to really get themselves back into this match.
They are on eco now. Curious to see what sort of approach they do take here. I'm not sure if I like this from an aTTaX perspective, because they have actually invested really heavily into the round. This time they've opted to steer away from the German Deedles and get the German Rec-9s, but when they had their most success on Dust 2, it was when Kiev did have that AWP in hand, and really by forcing the issue here, he himself is not able to build up that economy. Perhaps he himself should have just ecoed whilst his team wanted to invest. Maybe that was another option, but as they make their way towards the B side, it's really just been that one site that they've been attacking as Crispy takes some damage there. I'm not sure if that was Stonde connecting with the AWP through that wall there into
AK
the one.
spam.
It was just an AK spam? Okay. in any case, he's down to 38 points of health, and he's the one that actually has all those support grenades, so it's important for his team's chances of at least getting into this B side and getting a plant that he does stay alive. They'll inch their way out high ramp now, and it's only a moment until the CTs are now aware it is Zard who spots them out, but he's taking the duel, gets one before he is traded down. The bomb gets planted now, Jim. 4 on 4, the CTs must retake.
Right, and it is very difficult, though, for the terrorists to hold that bomb. They have done the only a viable thing and try and push up and gain some position on the inside site. It only results in one frag, as now poor old Stefan is just trapped at the bomb spot, though. Crispy's going to try his best to try and help him there. That Tech 9 and Flash do a world of good, but of course, poor old Stefan does hold the bomb box there. That Flash again is doing a lot to disrupt the process of defusing this bomb. Crispy, though, somehow still lives through this. That defuse will come in, but not before heavy losses inflicted on the counter-terrorist side.
Feels like an arm wrestle at the moment, even despite which way the rounds are going. Feels as though there's nearly 9 out of 10 members dying each round. A lot of angels getting taken and a lot of close action, which is great to see from a spectating point of view. I'm glad that both of these two teams are clearly into this game at the moment, giving their best account of themselves in what is their final outing here in this GAMEKIT Season 2 European Group Stage. We can see now, Jim, that first, or the second gun round, I should say, but Keith, like we said, he didn't have the economy. He's now had to invest in that scout. Kazua actually with a Tech 9 himself, and they're moving their way very quickly out onto this A bomb side at the moment. Keith has found his way on top of the blue train, does connect there onto the head of Sunny, and Tizian doing a good job as well of, despite taking damage, finding frags. That's the key thing from an alternate perspective. Stefan on the hunt, somehow doesn't connect there actually. He should have made that frag. He had the opportunity, and that could prove costly now as they find themselves in a 3-on-3 situation. The bomb has been planted. That is a positive for team attacks, and they now try and find themselves into good post-plant situations. Crispy in particular has done a good job of doing that, find himself up into the sniper deck. Shadua, perhaps as a throwback to the old 1.6 days, and does punish up from up there. So they have navigated the danger of the CT weapons and do secure this round win.
It was looking like a promising potential retake there for Ence, but of course, some great fragging from alternate, particularly post-plant, just meant that Stonde is actually going to potentially become the hide-and-go-seek champion of 2016, as he does manage to negate all of the terrorists there, and the bomb as well, saving that AWP on the inside site, and really, all the terrorists running over the top of him. But that, for me, was alternate, just taking that outside site with a lot of force quite quickly and catching Ence by surprise.
Well, it's the first time in, 6 rounds now that they moved that quickly. You're spot on. I think it was exactly that. You can see that Ence this round, off the back of what was, I guess, winning and losing. You can see that back and forth so far in the match. They now don't have the economy to sustain that continued investment. Stonde has that AWP that he saves. He's taking it towards the B side, I think, recognising that tendency there from Team Alternate to, at least on their gun rounds, opt towards that inner side more frequently than not. And at the moment, Zart, in close quarters there at SL, he'll take a HE for his cause, but does get that information that there's a few terrorists up above. Not game, obviously, to push up that ladder, though.
That would be absolute suicide, because Kazuya is just waiting for that frag, but just a really slow approach, really cautious approach this round, knowing that only Stonde saved that AWP. They need to try and get some information as to potentially where he is holding, and Ence just holding quite default, as we see on the overlay there. Stonde is the only person holding that inside site.
Yeah, I've actually been really surprised by that persistence that we've seen from Ence actually to play that 4-1 setup on the CT side, despite the fact that Alternate are making their presence known towards B. In this round, it looks as though they will now launch a few smoke grenades and flashes into the site. Again, perhaps signaling their intention. It looks to be the case. Tizzy on there, charging out higher up, and again, given the fact that there's only one CT inside, he hasn't yet been found. He's pushed his way up entirely through the bomb side here. He should punish them. He does. He gets Alu. He doesn't quite spot out Yuho. Unfortunately for his sake, just moving before Yuho came into his crosshair, but in the end, he gets the job done anyway. Fantastic work here by Alternate, navigating what could have been a scary round. Sunny does get 2 frags, but it's not going to do his team much good in the context of winning the round here. He will now back off and try and save that weapon, but great job by Alternate. They did have an AWP to contend with and did a fantastic job really of getting into that site without even taking that duel.
That's right, they completely negated that AWP altogether. Stonde really couldn't do too much, even though he was the man holding the inside bomb site there from the furthest point. Not able to get an entry frag, so that was really good work from Alternate there, just managing, as we said, to stray away from that AWP. Sunny doesn't save that AK, and that will not be played into the next round. Great work from Stefan, finding that AK and just not allowing another hide-and-go-seek occurrence to unfold. But now we see as a result of that round, they forced into last. They're going to have to eco this round, hence.
Yeah, it's starting off quite shaky on the CT side. I know this was Alternate's map choice, but certainly the CT side is the favoured side on train in the current meta. I think that's fair to say. But just to go back onto that point, I think it's quite conventional to see teams as ence do push Vines alley here, or Ivy as it's sometimes referred, so I might hold that thought, but Tizian does a good job of cleaning them up. It's quite conventional to see teams go into that 4-1 to start off a round, opting to try and just make sure that that A site doesn't get rushed early on, but normally the state of play is that as soon as that B bomb site member from the CT side spots any presence, he will have a rotated coming to help him, but at the moment, ence just almost persisting on keeping 4 members outside quite stubbornly, it seems, at the moment, especially given the fact that Alternate have head towards that B site so often.
Imagine how much more effective that Vines push, for example, could have been with a flash, a pop flash. I know Anders is a massive advocate of just utility like that on ecos, the small investments that can pay big dividends, but more importantly, Alternate just able to navigate that anti-eco there with relative ease. They didn't actually lose a single member, had to expend very little utility, and took the frags quite quickly there. So a good anti-eco round from Alternate here, and they're doing quite well at the moment. This is why I dare say it was their pick.
Most certainly. They've actually built up that economy here. You can see again changing up the pace here. Kazua charging towards that B's bomb site. Again, only one member to defend, and Zar, you can hardly call it a defense as his head is ripped off before he even fires a bullet in that instance. Keeve there, I think, capitalizing off that CT rotate, steps out T-Con and punishes one, but the bulk of the attack was certainly on that inside bomb site. Kazua there, unable to capitalize on what was a blind Sunny. That's a contradiction in terms. But it will be Crisby here who's actually done a great job of pushing through this site. So again, the CTs have been locked out here, and I don't like this from ence. Whilst I give them credit for going to what they're comfortable with that 4-1 setup here, I think the fact that Alternate persisting with these big bomb site warrants some sort of reaction or adjustment in their CT setup, but we haven't seen it just yet, and Alternate really punishing them as a result here.
Well, not only that, it's just that uncertainty that comes with Alternate at the moment. They're willing to change their tempo. They're changing the tempo quite frequently as a terrorist, hitting outside A, slowing things back down, hitting B bomb site with a slight delay. Little things like that. They are changing the tempo of the game quite well and keeping ence guessing. So that's perhaps where some of the hesitation from, I guess, ence is coming from to really make a read or make a play of their own on that counter-terrorist side, simply because they're always fearful of what Alternate are going to do.
As we move into this gun round, if we take a quick look at the scoreboard, that'd be really cool, because I just want to show, despite the fact that Alternate are up so heavily at the moment, 7-2, the fragging is so even across the board. Keeve actually using that spawn that he had, the great Lord Gaben's spawn, to actually get out T-Con and catches you off guard. They're falling off the blue train. This is madness. Headshot onto the man, but we do see all of a sudden that Alternate attacks here, seemingly getting frags at will, and in dramatic fashion there as Jim puts his head in his hands.
Madness.
It was a sick kill.
Oh, don't stop there. There's madness unfolding here outside as now in this 4 versus 5. Yuho might actually... Hello, picks up that frag there onto Kazuya, so he does square the ledge there. It is 4 versus 4. They will go into this round. Just at the moment, it's a bit of a Mexican standoff at the moment, isn't it? They're just waiting, Alternate, to see whether or not ence are willing to try and take any risks and push. At the moment, ence aren't doing that, and hence the standoff.
Something a bit different though, coming out here from Alternate. We haven't really seen them exploit that Ivy too often so far in that A bomb site, but they're actually committing 2 members there at the moment. So whilst Alu's attention is heavily focused on T-Con, the last lane position of Kiva will be Tizian and Crisby actually making their way out Ivy, and it's almost forced Stonday to swivel on a dime here and cover his back. You can see Tizian doing a good job there. Good pop flash. That will catch Stonday off guard and converts there with the headshot. So they are now entering this A bomb site. Sunny holding strong though, getting a double, spots at the third. He's trying to rotate at the moment, just trying to find a safe position, but cannot hide from that HE grenade, which does connect, drawing it towards him like a magnet in that instance. And now with the bomb planted, ence forced to retake. You can see that flank coming in from Zard there, but with the Mag 7, the long range, whilst he has got the first here, he's now facing a much tougher prospect trying to make it work against Stefan, who keeps his distance, does get the frag there. Great job by Alternate, and really exploiting a different part of the map for the first time and catching ence off guard.
They did, and well, potentially that rifle there. It's almost a rifle, isn't it? That Mag 7. Sometimes you see it doing long distance damage, but not able to secure that round nonetheless. And this is where ence are in a lot of trouble. Alternate again are just changing the pace here, but holding in the white halls. That CZ of Ali does a lot of damage, and now they're going to continue to push and press this issue here. But Crisby does his best to just make sure that there's no pressure coming in from the counter-terrorists at all. As you can see on the overlay, counter-terrorists are pressed up in the yard quite heavily. Keeve has actually been forced to play right back in T-Spawn. That's how fearful he is at the moment of losing that AWP.
If anything, Keeve has actually gone backwards this round. He had a good spawn and actually went backwards to the very back wall. So I've never seen a terrorist actually lose ground in the entirety of a round. He's managed that feat, but his team's chance of success is certainly quite high at the moment, despite the fact that he is petrified for his life. He has actually rejoined them. So you can see at the moment he has found his way to Kazua, just above that small ladder, and they're slowly making their way towards the B bomb side. I like this, though, potentially from ence in terms of information gathering, because Sunny's actually pushed through team main here, so it's allowed Zart and Ali to focus their attention on that B side, where they suspect that that German attack will shortly be coming, and they're not wrong. It is coming, but you can see the Germans are well equipped to try and put up some sort of force and formidable showing as they creep their way out high ramp, something they've actually done quite often here, and Alu's not in a good spot here where potentially doesn't have anything in the way of cover, but still gets the drop there. Very, very controlled shooting onto the head there of Kazura, and Zart finds one for himself, so all of a sudden here, Team ence doing a great job of making something of this round, a round in which they really had nothing to offer in the context of low weaponry, low utility, and low chance of success, but it all now rests on the shoulders of Sunny. He's made his way down low ramp, but they're aware of that flank. They hear his footsteps, and they can't quite put him to death yet, though. So he has shot the first. All of a sudden, this now turns into a 1v1. Tizian playing the footsteps quite well, positions himself behind the bomb train. Makes it look quite difficult, though, as he eventually takes him down, but not before he himself is put down to 22 points of health. But that does not matter. All that matters at the moment is that Alternate doing a fantastic job, leading from the front 9-2 on that terrorist side of train.
They are, and ence now are going to go into this buy round here. Stonde, again, charged with that AWP, and I would be interested to see whether or not they are going to persist with that 4-1 setup. As we said, Stonde has that AWP. Every time he's had that AWP, they've persisted with the 4-1, and that's, well, they've slightly changed it up. It is a 4-1, but Stonde is actually on the outside. Zart has switched it up and now inside, pushing up on that low ramp and is tasked with holding it. But Keeve, what a menace he's been with that AWP, and he's looking for that opening pick here on the outside site. Both teams just caught dueling as Stonde makes his impact on the round. So it's changing that AWP up to the outside, has paid dividends already. But look at this double stack here at Vines, just trying to see whether or not they can catch Aloe out. Does take a lot of damage there as he's now forced to retreat back. And they're going to play this crossfire here. Stonde missing that AWP shot, but terrorists are just going to back off a little bit.
Crucially, though, with only 4 members alive on an alternate perspective, ence now know that half of the terrorist team is towards that Ivy, so that's a lot of information. You heard they're doing a good job with that advanced position, actually catching Stefan off guard there in the SL, and whilst he does now fall, alternate are actually putting a lot of pressure here on the outside bomb site, so Zart has rotated. Stonde, though, holding strong up on that sniper deck, has got one with the elevation and the, I guess, great position of being able to hide with great effect. Has allowed him to stay alive for so long. Zart doing a good job of taking down Kreese, been eliminating the next threat. The terrorists seemingly coming one at a time at the moment. Kazua now finds himself in a 1-on-3. He's actually inching his way actually around behind the back of the bomb site. He's pushed out Ivy, obviously, and now finds himself in CT spawn. And I'm not sure if that necessarily is not doing him a world of good. There's only about 20 seconds left on the clock, so he needs to up the pace here a little bit. But by the same token, you can tell he doesn't want to make footsteps. He's catch 22 as the time ticks down with only 12 seconds left nearly on the clock. Sunny will now backtrack just to try and get eyes on that B bomb side, and he now knows it's B. That utility grenade that was actually expended there, that smoke as it was, will signal his presence at that B bomb side, and it's only a matter of time there. Sunny will catch him off guard in the side. Surely. Maybe not. Surely. No, he does. He does. He does. The defuse will come in, and ence win a much needed round there for their sake.
Well, much needed round, I dare say, desperately needed. They needed to get themselves back into this match. They're 9 away already. This narrows it down to a 6-round deficit so far, and well, you'd almost expect that a terrorist or a counter-terrorist side on train 6 would be a par score for them. So they need the rest of these rounds just to get themselves up to par. Otherwise, they're going to really struggle in the second half.
I think that ence are probably really thankful for the fact that alternate have gone away from what's been working for them. They actually opted to go to the A bomb site when they had so much success at B. I'm much more pleased for their sake to see them heading their way towards inside. And again, that 4-1 setup from the CTs. I don't fancy their chances if the Ts do decide to execute with there's only one CT on the B bomb site. You can see that at the moment they have upped the pace and taken control of the B halls very early already. Tizian's lining up those smokes, so with only a minute 20 left on the clock, now they have signal their intent as they do throw and lob those nades into the site. The CT rotation is coming, but again, there's so much pressure here on Zart to try and hold strong. They haven't flushed him out yet, though. He's done a good job of biding himself a lot of time here. Steps out and takes one, but more importantly than that one frag was the fact that he stayed alive for about 15 seconds after that initial attack did start. Feels like a lifetime ashore at his shoulders. The frags now coming in. Yuho there taking down one member. Sunny as well chiming in, and Alu. So they're doing a good job now of retaking this site. It's about time, I think, for their sake, because they've had so many attempts at practicing. Alu doing a good job of just swindling up the side of that train, spotting out Kazura, and whilst he doesn't convert the first time, the second time does prove the goods. And now 9-4, ence mounts your comeback, much like Alternate did Jim on Dust 2. A similar sort of scoreline on that first map.
Well, almost mirroring that scoreline as well, but it is starting to get to that point where ence are starting to arm wrestle back control of this map, and they need to continue that form. Obviously, as we can see now, Alternate, their money's been compromised. They're actually going to go into a bit of a force buy here, some pistols and a scout. And as we can see in the overlay, they're changing things up. That, whoa, as he second guesses himself, because they're 16 HP, not going to jump through that Molotov just yet, but inside is going to be the object of their affection. That bomb has committed itself to the upper ramp, and again, they started with a 4-1, but now Dart has been joined by Stonde, so they are going to actually have two on the inside bomb site here for this hit. They don't quite get out the top ramp there, as that bomb is prevented from being planted. Zate with the triple, Sunny finds the fourth, and now just poor old, I believe it's Keeve at the top there, couldn't do too much with that scout, is taken out, and that's exactly the round that ence needed to get themselves back into this match, because otherwise, as we said, 6 being the pass score for counter-terrorists on this map, they were going to struggle otherwise.
Yeah, I think they probably let themselves down, Jim. I'm not sure if 6 would be the pass score, to be honest, on the CT side. I think that's probably a little bit underwhelming for my liking, but in any case, ence obviously just desperate to as many rounds as they can now in this position, but Keeve does tag down. It looks like Yuho obviously not being able to afford the AWP. The scout was the ideal compromise in his eyes in that instance, and has done some damage. He's looking for another one, though, and you can see he has 2 teammates there at Ivy. So Tizian and Cruzby again opting for that double stack, something we saw earlier on. Limited success, actually, where they did tag down Ali, but not able to convert the frag, and I think potentially now ence are going to be aware of that prospect, but that's probably the easiest frag Keeve's going to have all night as he steps around Tigron there, and free headshot onto Yuho. Thank you very much.
Free, no interest at all either. Yuho goes down, completely forgetting about T-Connector, but I'm sure he won't forget about it now, because it is a 4 versus, well, now a 3 versus 5. Kazuya steps out, makes it now a 2 versus 5 in this situation. Frisbee does collapse onto Sunny there, and now Zart, that man left holding inside, has a tough prospect, and made even tougher with that single bullet, signaling their intent for this match. Stefan takes him down, and 10-5 the score.
Fantastic first half there by Alternate. I give them a lot of credit for getting 10 rounds on the T side of train. I really was impressed with their change of pace. I think more importantly as well, though, the fact that they really exploited what the CTs were giving them. We saw that ence were persisting with that 4-1 setup with 4 outside of the A-bomb side and 1 inside, and really not opting to rotate a support member inside, despite the fact that Alternate was showing a lot of presence in those brown halls early on in some rounds. Very unconventional, we noted from the CT setup, but I mean, from an Alternate perspective, I think they were loving life as they continually attacked the B side, and you can't fault them for continually heading inside where that's where they had their success. So sometimes we are very critical of teams mixing things up when strategies are winning. In that instance, we saw Alternate persisting with what was working and reap the rewards. 10 rounds, they'll be happy with that.
Oh, no doubt they will be happy with that, because this puts a lot of pressure on this pistol round here for ence. They need to make sure that essentially they win it. There's nothing else to really say other than that, because other than that, it's going to be an absolute uphill battle for them to get themselves back into this match without winning that pistol.
Jim, you know how like at LAN events and whatnot we go to, there's analyst desks. Can we currently have our like post or halftime discussion from the chairs on the balcony next to the barbecue?
What a great place for analysis to take place.
That's what I thought. So I'll take the left side, you take the right side. But moving into this half now, the pause has come in. Not quite sure what the pause is actually for, to be honest, because it was called by Alternate. I can only imagine there was a little glitch there that they wanted to fix up from their side, because they had all the momentum. There's no need for their perspective really to talk things through. I think they're going to be pretty confident with themselves at the moment, but maybe just wanting to make sure of things. Of course, we're now moving on to what is the final half, the final potential 15 rounds for these two teams here in the Counterpit season, and so much to play for both teams, whether it be the chance of going to Croatia in March, or even just for Pride, as it might be for alternate. But we do see ence at the moment on the T side making their way towards the B side, at least with 2 members, but the bomb just lurking back at the moment towards T-Con. So it doesn't look as though an attack will be coming in just yet. You can see though that from a CT perspective, they actually have 3 members inside, and Keeve there takes a brutal little one tap, and I think he actually holds his position there, just out of pride. I think that ordinarily he would back off as a result, licking his wounds, but Tizian holding strong. But the T's now almost forced to double guess themselves, as that, I guess, intent to take B halls has now been put off by the fact that CTs clearly have a lot of presence there.
Right, and that grenade does quite a bit of damage there to Tizian, and he's forced to fall back as well. So both Kedateris holding inside have taken a lot of damage early on, and this is a really promising start here from ence. But if you look at Stefan, he's got a lot of information as to what potentially might be happening here. So he does spot out Stonde there, and they know that the game is up. They have to make their move quite soon because the information is being gathered by the moment as they do hit this A bomb site. That bomb is making its way outside.
That's right, they funneled their way out those 2 connectors there, haven't they? Kazua does connect onto the head of Alu. I think recognising that a frag was needed in that instance, Stefan on the flank, that presence is still ever there as he does take down that frag. And all of a sudden, the CTs making mincemeat of this post-plant situation here from ence. As Yuho and suddenly do find one though, and the TK comes in. Kazua there connecting onto Keeve. That is the last thing that you do need in that instance. And Crisby now has no teammates to support him. So what looked like a gimme round for Team Alternate, they've now imploded on themselves. And Crisby has to go 1-on-2. He knows there's one in there, so does connect there onto the head of Sunny. So Yuho there, I think, retreating, trying to bide some time. He does have a kit in hand as well, but crucially, no time to play with, no smoke in hand to cover himself, and that will be around going ence's way, but they had no authority to win that round. That was alternate imploding in front of our eyes.
At TK absolutely destroying their chances in that round. It allowed that small opening to occur, and ence capitalised fully. As we said, this is what they needed to get back into this match. They needed that pistol, and now here come the alternate Deagles again. They're forced by the Deagles into this round, and well, I believe it's poor old Key, the only one that's got the P250, because he needs to save that money for the AWP later on.
That's right, he's all about investment at the moment and getting that maximum bank interest.
The dank bank.
The dank bank, he does spot out one in T-Con. Yuho actually takes 1 bullet, but not enough to scare him away. He's holding strong at the moment, but Tizian almost begging Yuho to step in. Biding his time before shooting, doesn't quite connect onto Yuho, but I think Yuho now aware of that threat. Kazua doing a good job actually pushing through the B halls and catching Zart off guard, but quickly that retaliation does come in as Sunny takes him down, and it will now signal the intent as ence do commit to this outside bomb site. Sunny coming down to sell the remaining 3 members, moving out T-Con, and they found that next frag in the form of Kievan as they now connect onto a few more members. What looked to be a dicey round has now become an easy round.
Right, they're just cleaning up here. Maximum money bonus as well to those SMGs that got the frags, and starting to narrow that deficit. 7-10 the score. Alternate on that counter-terrorist side. Again, they'll find themselves on just a lowly buy with those pistols, but Crisby is persevering along with Stefan with these Deagles and heavy investment. We will more than likely see them go quite light in this first gun round on utility as a result of buying Deagles in 2 rounds.
See, I don't understand this though. I understand them as we do see aTTaX. They're trying to put up some resistance at A bomb site. I might hold my thought at least until the round looks as though it's going the way of ence, and I think that it does now as the frags come in 2 by way of Sunny. The bomb is planted with the CT in his vision. I was just pausing there trying to make sense of what I was seeing, but I can understand buying those pistols on the second round, Jim, when trying to perhaps catch ence off guard when maybe they have SMGs and whatnot, but given the fact that they didn't get any frags, or if I look back, they only got 1 frag on that second round, what's the logic behind buying onto the third again? Well, it's not as though the money of Team ence was crippled.
No, exactly right. I mean, as far as a game point, not only there's the question of whether or not they thought they'd done any economic damage to the other team, they hadn't. But more importantly, they're only damaging themselves economically, as we can see as a result in this round. They've had to forego a lot of utility there.
Kazua is the man at the B bomb side, and good HE grenade actually connects there onto Stonde, hearing those footsteps as they dropped down from what was above SL to those brown halls, and recognising with the timing of CSGO that was the appropriate time to launch that HE grenade. He's now reaped the benefits in the sense that Stonde is now below half HP, and he did have the open hand. He was the danger man. You can see Stefan at the moment. He has a little bit of pressure himself to contend with. 2 terrorists there at Ivy, and this is the default setup that we've seen from ence in the past on the terrorist side of train, actually sending and committing 2 members towards that Ivy alley nearly every round. It's quite unconventional because it just means the rotation time back towards teammate or even the B halls is so long for 40% of your teammates potentially. So as it is, they're almost resigned to going towards that A bomb site at the moment, and that's confirmed by the fact that that bomb has now made its way back to T1. Sunny alongside Stonde starts at the moment just above SL, just biding their time, waiting to attack this outside bomb site.
That's right, and they will smoke their way, try and take control of Vines there, but Tizian finds a frag onto Zart in the small ladder room, and more importantly has control of a key choke point here, because this means that as they hit this outside bomb site, ence are actually going to be pinched from this SL, and they need to be aware that Molotov does a great job. In fact, the little hotbox there is that grenade fries and cooks the two inside.
Oh!
But somehow, as we said, that Molotov getting the double there, as we called it the hotbox, that's essentially it. Noel Kazuya unfortunately has to go 4-on-1, but should be found out here by Stonde.
Roasted potatoes, Jim. Roasted
I like my potatoes
mate.
roasted.
Yeah, well, they were certainly roasted in that instance. That was great seeing the double molly coming out. But, I mean, we gave a lot of credit to ence numerous times so far tonight about the fact that they do have that ability, more so than other teams in this Euro Counterpit group stage, to grind out those round wins and to make those comebacks. Again, they're showing it. Faced with that 10-5 deficit at the first half, moving on to the harder side of the terrain on the terrorist side, they're making it work for them at the moment. They've strung 4 rounds together. Alternate attacks on an eco, again opting for the German digs, but so far tonight it hasn't really proven to be much of a successful tactic for them. Not quite connecting, and Keeve there, I think, a perfect illustration of that, having the opportunity to get that drop onto Sunny, but couldn't quite get the crosshair, and Sunny showing what he can do, not for the first time tonight. So sharp with that AK at the moment, certainly hitting his shots, had that sick team down on Dust too, and still connecting. Crispy though, putting up some sort of resistance.
Right, he's down. Takes the drop, takes the plunge down into SL there, doesn't get himself a frag, and now Kazuya and Crispy need to try and see whether they can get themselves a gun. In this instance, they do have the Deagles. Well, the Deagle and the 5-7 combination. Crispy's already got that frag, but let's wait and see whether they can catch anyone from ence off guard. Waiting ever so patiently. Well, Crispy does fall down, and Zart takes down Kazuya quite easily. 10-all the score. ence have actually found their way back into this match. Alternate really struggled so far on the CT side. In fact, it's been 5-zip the score to ence in the second half.
The thing I'm curious to see is if ence persist with this default setup of sending 2 members to Vines every round. It doesn't look as though this round they will. They're actually moving with a little bit more intent towards the B call, so I like this from them. They did become a little bit one-dimensional on their T side in previous trained matches by just opting to go into that default, so they've clearly reworked things a little bit. They're moving their way slowly at the moment. Alu taking the point in front of Yuho, the designated entry fragger, so clearly God Alu, who hasn't seen too much action tonight, is keen for some frags, and he's found one before Kazua. Again, the 4-1 setup proving to be the downfall of CTs here. Their sole defender in that B bomb site has been taken down. The bomb has been planted, and for a site which is normally so difficult to hold, the fact that the Ts here have been able to push up so close to those CT choke points has really won them the round, in the sense that the CT is almost scared to progress any further. You can see Keeve backing off with the AWP. He's almost defending CT spawn as it is at the moment. The chance of winning the round has disappeared, and now it's just a matter of survival, and all of a sudden the CTs are funneling their way towards Ivy, trying to find a safe hiding place.
Keeve does pick up one before he does vacate the premises, but they've made that call quite early to save, haven't they? And Crispy is forced to take the fights here, as he is going to be taken down by that AWP of Stonde, and now Stonde is just looking, hunting to see whether they can make another frag, but Tizian supports his teammate well there, as now 2 members do survive from alternate. They do save themselves an AWP, so all hope is not lost, but ence, for the first time, are in the lead.
Well, that's right. We saw on Dust 2 they actually led from the front despite the momentum shifts. In this match, they've had to come from behind and do it the hard way, and they're doing a great job here on the T side. I love the fact that they mixed it up and went very strongly towards that B bomb site last round. Now they're going back to that default on the overlay. You can note that 2 members going towards Ivy. Sunny actually in SL at the moment, very aggressive for his sake, and does catch Crispy off guard. I don't think the German IGL was expecting that sort of aggression from Sunny, and that was a battle of leaders in that instance. The Finnish leader coming out the winner in that instance, but as things are, they will now almost stabilise. We're now in a 4-on-4, and the pace will slow down. It looks as though Yuho trying to slowly make his way out of Ivy, but second guesses himself, I think, with the smoke that the CT had laid down. He will now back off, and very, very slow-paced mid-round situation we find ourselves in.
Right, now Bomber's actually made its way back above the SL, so if we look at the overlay, we do see the 2 members of ence making their way up Vines. As we said, they've committed to this so often in this half, and now they're forced to go on the outside here. Stefan, though, should get the drop on the first. He does take down Alu, and somehow one actually slips through the smoke there. So Yuho does make his way back around, tries to find Stefan, but of course falls quite quickly. Ence now just being picked apart as they try and hit this outside bomb site. Stonde, not much he can do from his position there. Has barely made it out of T-Con, and of course the smokes mean limited vision. And of course Kiev taking him down quite quickly. Great round from Alternate, replying quite quickly there. 11 all the score. This is going right down to this wire, the second map.
Yeah, I'm so happy for both of these teams that in the final match of their counterpit season that they really put on a fantastic side. It's an arm wrestle at the moment. This is such an important round here now for Alternate aTTaX, probably the most important in this half for their sake because they don't have any economy to play with. This is a must-win round, otherwise their bank accounts will be empty. We can see again Zart moving down SL, so if it's not Sunny, it's Zart in this instance, and the pace again catching Crispy off guard the second time in a row. Tizian does manage to take down Zart, but not able to retreat from that position. And as the trades come in, it's just one-for-one duels all over the map at the moment. Now, crucially for Alternate aTTaX, whilst they're still in a strong position in a 3-on-3, they're losing members. And again, that money that we speak of will be called into question now, regardless of the win or lose situation in this round. Tizian here tasked with watching T-Con and SL. A lot of responsibility for one man. You can see that Sunny potentially is going to be up for that challenge as well as he makes his way down. So as Tizian tries to get some map territory there, he's caught off guard and almost just tries to bunny up his way out of it. But that's not a solution. Not when Sunny is raining down bullets of fire onto your back. And the T's will now commit to that outside bomb site. Kiev actually manages to catch Stonde off gun, but doesn't shoot. They're actually looking for the second one first, and magic frags there as he does get a double. Looks for the third, suspects he's an Ivy. At the moment, though, it's Alu who has spotted him out, tags him down to 48 HP, and very, very patient waiting game here from Alu, actually waiting on top of that train, seeing if Kiev would show any skin as it is. He's actually now done a fantastic job of actually weaseling his way through that site, recovering the bomb, moving towards B. He should get that bomb planted, and I think recognising the fact that the Alternate aTTaX member in the form of Kiev was so far away, recognising he had that safety to get that bomb planted in such an open position. Now it's a guessing game for Alu. He's moved towards the CT con here, just trying to work out where that retake from Kiev is going to come in from. You can see that Kiev, I don't think for his sake, he actually knows it's the B bomb side at the moment. So I think by dawdling around in T-Con, he's almost just wasted a lot of time for himself now. He realises the game is up. He moves towards the B side, and Alu says it's all too easy as he hears the footsteps coming, takes the frag. Alternate aTTaX has reset their economy, and now Ence in a really strong position here to run away with this match.
We're just seeing God Alu at work there in that 1 versus 1. Recognised the small opening there with the bomb and took straight inside, forcing that 1v1. Great positioning there as well in the post plant. Allowed him to get the drop on his opponent and wrestle back that lead. Asus, should I say, as Yuho actually catches Key, trying to push that smoke, so very heavy investment there, that AWP going down quite early, and now, as you can see, rest of Alternate are just struggling here as Yuho finds another frag, while completely flashed there, and another man just funneling out the vines here. Does take down 2 Crispy, so good work from him, collecting himself that AK and making a getaway now, a 2 versus 3. That bomb is going to make its way outside and be planted. Watchful eye of his teammates. Sunny is just going to make his way around that bomb site there. Zart is just holding down the SL, and of course, the third man, Stonde, is taking that AWP back to mid-connector. So, Zuya looking for the drop here. Does give away his position. Crispy does fall down. Kazuya does find the frag there onto Zart, and Sunny is forced to change his own position. He's 16 HP, and not really too much of a chance here for poor old Kazuya. He doesn't have a kit, and he's going to just opt to try and save that AK. Sunny, though, is potentially trying to look to eliminate that gun from their inventory. And Kazuya taking the drop, 95 HP. We'll save that gun and take it into the next round.
Yeah, the T's actually found a great little hidey hole there, Stonde, all the way back in T-spawn, and looks as though the members of aTTaX just asking for confirmation of the HPs. Crispy, knowing that he did a lot of damage onto Sunny, but couldn't quite connect with that third frag. Did a great job of getting 2, though, but really strange decision for me, the fact that he pushed out Vine's alley like that. I mean, he had the AWP. He's been their go-to man all season long, and I think really that was an unnecessary risk in my eyes. I mean, we know that Ence love to play that heavy Vines aggression, particularly on their default setup, so he was always going to have that challenge, and Alternate aTTaX here now find themselves in a situation where, again, they're on a forced fight. They've got 4 pistols and that AK, which Kazuya did save in the previous round. They have lost the first duel, though, and despite the fact that Stefan has got the drop, the T's actually have convinced the CTs that they are attacking the A bomb site, but we can see otherwise as they funnel their way towards an empty B site. Because when they're on the rotate, actually, does he connect? Yes, he does through the wall there, eventually onto Alu. So doing a good job here to CTs to keeping this interesting. They'll now actually use a few Molotovs and I guess utility grenades trying to flush them out, but in the end, that's only more encouragement for ence to take those Angels and win those Angels as Kazua now finds herself the last surviving member with it all to do and too much to do.
4-1-1-2, Zart, that MP7 frag was disgusting. Holds the trigger, running backwards up the low ramp. I wouldn't be surprised, as we said, to see the police knocking on his door because that was just criminal.
So far you're suggesting that Kazua and Crisby are in trouble? Is that who we're talking about? I don't know.
No,
Call 1-1-2.
Zart.
Oh, Zart and Crisby. Well, in any case here, this is now situation critical for Team aTTaX. So on the CT side, they've had to invest everything. You can see again the change of pace from ence as they move very quickly towards this outside bomb side, and some good utility grenades has really blocked off the vision of the CTs. Alu at the moment is really just making sure that he spends everything with which he's invested into as he lobs the Molotov grenade towards that bomb train. The frags are coming in at the moment, and it's coming out in the way of alternate attacks, at least until Zart connects with the head there onto Frisbee. So 2v2 we find ourselves in, and there's Kazua in. It looks as though Stefan do find one apiece. A very, very fast round there, nearly done in 32 seconds, as Gaben points out to us. Very quick tempo, alternate doing a good job of shutting down that attack despite having some inferior weaponry.
Right, and they will, again, one of these guys is going to have to go, well, both of them actually going to have to go light in this round. Crisby and Tizian. Just throwing armor there for Tizian. His money is a little bit better, but Crisby, poor old Crisby with the FAMAS. But another full buy coming out from ence, and that, again, grenade. Once bitten, twice shy. Zart doesn't step into it this time, but he does have his timing down, Kazuya. Another slow approach here from ence. They slowed the pace down, changed the tempo a little bit. This is what Ultimate, funnily enough, did so well on their terrorist side, was keep counter-terrorists guessing. You get the impression, though, Ultimate are a little bit more comfortable about what they're doing than ence were on their counter-terrorist side. So, whilst this one does see ence with the lead at the moment, Ultimate are certainly well positioned to get themselves back into this match.
Oh, by every stretch of the imagination is this comeback possible. I mean, they only trailed by a couple of rounds there, and they now know the position of one terrorist there in Team Main, who actually I thinks the better of it is he does retreat there, recognizing that he did that open hand, potentially not the best weapon to be taking that close range duel. And from a terrorist perspective here, they really haven't done much, despite the fact that a lot of time has ticked away.
But this is where it differs. Alternate are doing what ence didn't on their counter-terrorist side. You saw them go aggressive in the T-con. You saw them make the terrorists try and retake their own connector. And this is resulting in time being burnt before they hit the sites.
Well, a few grenades have been launched towards the outside bomb site, but 30 seconds left. They really haven't done much at all. You can see one member actually in the form of Yuho actually getting quite an advanced position, but as he goes down, that side of attack is no longer an option. It is the B site. They must commit to it now. Zart does a good job of opening things up, taking down Kazua. The quick CT rotation means that Kiev is there and connects in amazing fashion. That is such a difficult shot to make. He finds the head of Stonde through the train nonetheless, and whilst Alu has found two, he still needs two more to contend with Stefan and Kiev. He must find 4 frags to win this round for his team. He gets the bomb down with 2 seconds left on the clock. His position is now known, though. He's trapped behind the train, and Stefan connects as Alu tries to make an angle to work with. Great shot there coming in from Kiev, though. Connecting onto Stonde, and the look of disgust on your face right now leaves me feeling so content inside.
Oh, that shot from Kiev left his scalp just splattered across the back end of that bomb train. That was absolutely brutal. What a shot. As we said, he only saw a few pixels at best and hit it so well, and most importantly prevented that bomb from going down. But now this is danger signs here for ence because they're on a bit of a force buy, forcing into this round. Objective here will be to get the plant, but alternate now. The momentum is with them.
They've won 2 rounds in a row here. You can see at the moment, again, continued setup here coming out from ence. That consistency. They've sent 2 members towards either Yuho. They're actually trying to weasel through the smoke a little bit, but Stefan alert to the threat. You can see that his teammate there in the form of Alu was actually trying to shoot and make a distraction, almost tell the story that they weren't pushing through, but Stefan, aware of the threat, actually swivels and takes down Sunny and SL as well, and gets his 3rd for the round. Can he get the 4th? Hasn't yet connected, but does a lot of damage onto Alu and almost forces Alu's hand there to retreat there with the Molotov down. He can't charge through that with only 14 points of health. All of a sudden, there's just 2 surviving members. Stonde, though, has found one and spots out a second, but in the end, There's only 2 members there of ence left alive as Keith gets a dirty little frag and throws away the AWP before connecting with the USP. Again, I don't know what I'm watching at the moment, but 14-all. Ence, they haven't had an easy match so far in the GAMEKIT season. Even in matches in which they've won, they've been in close fashion. And again, we find ourselves in an arm wrestle, 14-all, alternate with the momentum. They've won the last 3 rounds here, Jim, and Ence buying into this.
Well, imagine the tension in that boot camp room right now with Ence. 14-all, scores locked. Critical T round coming in, and they go for their go-to default. They're sending 2 vines here again. Just Alu watching over the connector, and just 2 taking inside control.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about it, it's actually just 1 because Sunny's actually in SL and he does spot out the head of Crispy, takes him around, great shot there, but I was just trying to say the thing I don't like, forget that, I like this. Fragging happening all over the map. Keith there actually connects onto Alu, so 1 apiece at the moment. Keith actually boosted up onto that box in mid, catching him off guard, but the T's yet to take control of B Brown Horse. That's the key difference for me in terms of the 2 T defaults. They've opted to send 2 members towards Ivy as opposed to taking inside. That's the compromise that they've made, and it makes it a little bit easier for the CTs holding inside. Kazua in particular, he's not put under as much pressure, and the CTs don't have that question in their minds as if they need to rotate or not. As it is, Zart has now found his way through to high ramp and has a smoke well positioned here, so potentially an inside attack is coming. It will be as the smokes and flashes rain in. You can see already the bomb has found its way in the hands of Sunny. Kazua doing a good job of just biding for time, uses utility, flashes through the smoke, does catch one off guard and connects onto the section of the bomb. It has been planted though, so crucially for the T's sake, they now have, as I start to choke, a timer placed on the round. Don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen, because the only team choking at the moment is Ence. They have lost all surviving members here. Alternate doing a fantastic job. And Kazua, we said he wasn't put under too much pressure, or when the pressure did come to him and he was put to the test, great frag.
That was the play. He made the play straight as my go-caster actually chokes harder than Ence there live on the stream. Nonetheless, alternate have match point here, and now the ball is back in Ence's court. If they're going to force his into overtime, they need this round, and they're going to need to find another opening into the alternate defense.
Call 112. I don't want the casters is dying. Tell them PK Noodle's in trouble, but no. In all seriousness, like we said, this is the important round here, Jimmy. You can see that from a T perspective. They've had to compromise, didn't they? Stondo there with the Mac 10 and Zart with the D, trying to make it work. And Stefan, we've already seen the pressure and presence that he did have at that Vines alley. And again, they're coming towards him this time in force with 3 members there. And he's going to be put to the test in a moment. You can't help but think.
And, well, look at the 3 funneling through Vines here at the moment. Yuho leads the charge. That Molotov means that they're going to have to go. Stefan does go down here at Vines, and look at them just all stream out now. Taking control of the dark side of trains, and this outside side is going to be pincered quite quickly here. Yuho's actually made his way through, picks up that frag coming out, and now Tizian finds the square. And Sunny does find a reply onto him. They're just looking for that next member. Crispy holding strong outside. Does go down quite quickly here, and now it's all to do for Kazuya if he wants to try and win this for alternate in regular time.
That's right, he is at the Vines alley at the moment. He's faced with the prospect of going 1 versus 3 versus Ence. The bomb has been planted, so it's a tough ask here, and Stonda is up to the challenge. Using that Mac 10 that we put out quite curiously at the start of the round. It's a great effect there, ripping through the armor onto the head of Kazua. And we now find ourselves in overtime. Great way to start the night.
Fantastic way to start the night. And as we said earlier, in the context of this best of 2, this is a crucial map for Ence. This is their hopes and dreams of attending the GAMEKIT finals on the line.
Most certainly, you can see the adjustment already coming out from alternate here, actually pushing 3 members towards that B side and going quite aggressive, so something we didn't see in regulation time, and they found 1 frag. Can they get the second? They do. Kazua there crucially. Now it's important that they do back off and consolidate this position that they're in. They've got the man advantage. They will now retreat and fortify the site defense. As you can see, Ence trying to go the aggressor at that A-bomb site. They split out. Keith and Stefan's presence is also known in that cutout. You know they're not able to get that frag onto him, but Alu does get the job done. Crucially though, with only 1 surviving member in the form of Alu. God, Alu itself will have to make something work. He has found 1 frag there, spots out the second, but Keith faster to the tree and does take down Alu. And alternate in this MR3 overtime situation have found that first round. And on the CT side, the half on which during regulation time proved to be the more difficult for these 2 teams to get rounds on.
That's right. So they're already with the slight upper hand here in this first overtime, but need to back it up with another solid round here, as we do see Stonde buy into this round again with another AWP. And in fact, he's going very fast to Vines here, potentially being met, as he does miss his shot Stefan, very, very aggressive here at Vines, looking to try and take the fight, and more importantly, he gains a lot of territory there, just keeping those two members at bay. Crispy, though, is finding the frags, does trade his teammate out quite well on the inside side, but look at Sunny here, found his way outside, doesn't actually get the frag. Alu is the one that takes the trade through the mid-connector, and this is a very split and broken round here.
Broken is the best description I can imagine. You can see these 1v1 duels happening all over the map. Yuho there, showing his sharp aim, does rip off the head of Stefan, and Alu connects onto Tiziano. All of a sudden, teammates not willing to give up and die. They know that their counterpick campaign rides on their ability to close out this overtime, and as they get the bomb planted now, it will signal for Trisby the fact that he has to go for this retake situation. Given the fact that it's OT, he's got plenty of money to play with, he will go for this. He's trying to catch them off guard, potentially by coming through T-Con. Spots out the first, taps away at Alu, does take him down. You can see, though, actually grabs the second. I thought Yuho there was well positioned to take him down. He moves in towards the side, actually lays down a smoke on the bomb. Great job here by Stonda, listening to the footsteps. He does have an AWP, though, so he's actually opted to go with a pistol, noting the close range duel, which he would be taking. He moves through the smoke, not knowing that Trisby's off the bomb, knifing the bomb. As it is, he will now back off. He knows that it was a fake. Trisby, though, he recognises the presence of Stonda, finds his head. He now moves to the bomb. Does he have enough time, though? I don't think he does.
Don't think he does.
Explode. No, and oh my goodness. I think all of Ents and all the Finnish fans out there around the world breathe a sigh of relief, as I think in that case it was Stonde knifing away at a ghost on the bomb, only to sort of dance away at the last minute and somehow buy enough time before dying for his team to win the round. But dearie me.
I'm not sure what happened there in the bomb explosion either. It was replaced by a ringing bell. So that just made the situation a little bit more comical than perhaps it should have been. But no joke here for Ents at the moment. They need to take maximum advantage here on the T side, because as we said, counter-terrorist sides on this map so far look to be a bit of a struggle, as now we do see Crispy actually somehow swindle his way through that smoke, find the frag there onto Stonde, and now has been compromised on the inside bomb site. Tiziano looking for that Mag 7. Great Unreal Tournament skills there, taking down Alu, and Crispy finding that second frag inside, grabbing Sunny as he tried to slip through the defenses there. Now Yuho and Zart to contend with on his outside bomb site, 4 versus 2. And that bomb is making its way on the outside. They're just with Zart, of course. 17-16 to score. Alternate taking down the Ents defense, or the Ents attack in that round. Just getting the upper hand.
The key thing for me on the alternate side, I mean, I think they've got to be happy with 2 rounds. They were so much more aggressive, though, on their gun rounds, weren't they, than what we saw in the regulation time. We saw on 2 rounds, the first 2, they actually pushed 3 members towards the brown halls and pushed quite through with a lot of intent and a lot of purpose, catching Ents off guard on the 3rd round. We actually saw Crispy, I think it might have been pushing SL in that instance. I think it might have been potentially catching another member off guard. So Alternate really bringing that aggression on their CT side. What sort of gameplay will they bring out on their T side? We saw that they had so much success in regulation time attacking that B bomb site, bullying Zart in particular. Now though, it looks to be it'll be an aggressive A attack, and they charge out there. Alu saving his teammate's life. Sunny there, he has to thank in that instance, but Keeve has found 2, but all of a sudden, his teammates have gone down side by side, so he has only 1 member to support him at the moment, Chizua and Keeve as it is. And they're making their way through A bomb site at the moment. The bomb has been felled towards that electrical box. You can see that at the moment the objective is not so much the bomb, but just trying to secure that bomb site. Alu does have that AWP in hand. Stonde will be though with his AWP. Connects there through a wall, mind you, onto Chizua, and all of a sudden it's all left up to Keeve. We've seen a few instances this overtime in which a player's been forced to try and clutch it. That's an interesting strategy as he goes for the face-to-face knife. I'm not sure the percentage play on that, but it looked good, at least until he died.
Well, not so sure what his intent was there, because, I mean, money should be no object in an overtime. Sure, it's not a financial obligation there, but, well, want to skip a few. We are in this round, and more importantly, Alternate have changed the pace. They are outside quite quickly. That bomb will go down on the outside bomb site. It actually gets taken down by Yuho, preventing the bomb being planted there. Crucial piece of work from him in that round, as Yuho does find a second frag there. Zart does find the frag, and Alternate now have to defend match point.
And as a result of Keeve buying those AWPs into the previous rounds, he's actually really low on economy now, and actually only having $2,000. So he's had to compromise as a Tech 9. So does Tizian as well. So Alternate now faced with a very difficult prospect of having to win this final round with only 3 rifles and 2 pistols in hand. Of course, if Ents can win this, they would secure the map victory and win the series 2-0 tonight. We can see Alternate here moving with a lot of aggression towards that B bomb site, and what a HE grenade there coming out from Zart. Connects with 3 members. Does about 150 damage there in total. total, and as they run through the Molotov, they'll only serve to move them even lower in the HP stakes. Stonde there with a double frag, and Ence now in a fantastic position to get the win on the board. Alternate already disconnecting from the server here. I'm not sure what's going on as Tizian does find a frag, so definitely from Tizian Crispy's perspective, this match is not yet over. They've got 3 more CTs to contend with. Yuho there does drop them, and as the final member is felled by Yuho, that will be Ence claiming their 19th round. Congratulations, Finnish fans. Your team has won 19-17 on train, securing that 2-0 win in tonight's encounter and keeping, at least for the time being, their Counterpit Season 2 European Group Stage hopes alive.
What an absolutely cracking match there. We knew that it was the team that was going to capitalise on the counter-terrorist rounds, that was going to be the team that